few weeks ago, I was happily sulking by my swimming pool. What do you want?
I just came by to see if there's something I can help you with.
I'm retired. My psychotic best friend shows up out of nowhere.
Nobody tells me what I want!
To torture me over mistakes I made over a decade ago. You back in the game? I guess.
Yes! Woo! Welcome back, man!
We're all professionals. We all know the score.
This is legit business. 401ks, tax returns, and all.
We're gonna move quick, and we're gonna keep cool.
My job, my score, get your own!
Hello guys, and welcome to my review of Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PlayStation 3. This game is also available on Xbox 360. Grand Theft Auto 5 is finally out, and I tell you, it is worth the wait. GTA 4 was a massive disappointment. It lacked in a lot of areas, but Rockstar have remedied those problems, and GTA 5 is an excellent game, and you really need to play it. Just trust me, it is that good. The story is you play as three different characters. The first character is Michael. He's a former bank robber who cut a deal with the police so that he could get out of the game alive. So he now has his own mansion in Rockford Hills and he lives with his family. But his money's going quick and his family treat him terribly. They don't get on at all. So, due to mounting debts, he gets back in the game. You also have Franklin, who's a gangbanger, who wants to be more than a gangbanger. He wants to get up the criminal ladder. He wants to be sort of somebody, kind of. And then you have Trevor Phillips, who's an absolute psychopath and was an old associate of Michael's. They both used to rob banks together back in the day. The story is really, really good. It's definitely not as serious as GTA 4's story, but still a well-told story nonetheless. It's sort of a story in the pursuit of money, basically. That's mainly what the story is about, and it's told really well, and the three-character perspective is really refreshing in it. It sort of gives different views on the story, which I think is really, really cool. The characters are well written, the story is just well written across the board, so it's definitely great in that respect. The gameplay-wise, the driving is much more improved in GTA 5 than it was in 4. 4 had really sluggish driving controls, and the cars felt like you were driving boats on land. GTA 5 has remedied that by going back to the traditional sort of arcadey driving style, which just suits the game a lot more. It's easier to control, and the cars are easier to drive. So I really appreciate that. They've also brought back the ability to drive planes, which is very nice to see again. From small passenger jets to big massive planes, you can pretty much drive anything. It's really cool that they brought that back. The shooting is really good as well. There are three types of control settings for the shooting. There's the traditional GTA full lock-on system. There's the assisted aiming, which is sort of similar to the soft lock from Max Payne 3, and then there's free aim. I'd recommend using traditional GTA, as trust me, if you try to go free aim, you can, but it's much better if you try traditional GTA. It doesn't make the game easier at all, it's just more convenient. The game is still pretty tough, even with the full lock-on. You can take cover behind certain objects by pressing the R1 button. You can pop out using the L2, and you can blind fire using R2. You use the L1 button, the right analog stick, to sort of select your weapons. You can have multiple weapons of tiers, so you can have like multiple pistols, multiple shotguns, rifles, stuff like that. There's a gun customization now, which is I think a first for the series. You can get scopes, you can get suppressors, you can get flashlight mods, all that kind of stuff. You can even change the color, which I think is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about the cars. There's also car customization. They brought that back from San Andreas, and it's nice to see it back. You can tune your car, give it faster performance, better suspension. You can change the color of the car. You can change the license plate, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, the driving and the shooting works really good, and the fact that you can play as 3 different characters, it works surprisingly well. You basically hit the down button whenever you're in the middle of gameplay, and you can use the right analog stick to switch between the 3 characters on the fly. And when you switch to another character, they could be in the middle of doing something, which I think is pretty cool. So for example, if I switch to Franklin, he could be coming out of a store with a drug he's just bought and he sniffs it, and then you gain control of him. Or one funny thing that I got was I switched to Trevor, and he woke up on a beach in his underpants, drunk, with dead biker bodies around him, and he just screams, "It wasn't me!" I absolutely loved that. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Each of the characters has a very special ability. Michael, being the experienced bank robber, is very good at shooting. His special ability is bullet time, kind of like Max Payne. Franklin's the best at driving. His special ability is sort of he can slow down time while driving to give it better precision, and it's kind of handy if you want to avoid collisions. And Trevor, being an absolute psychopath, he's good at flying, but he's also a very good shooter as well. And his special ability is sort of like a rampage mode. He takes less damage, but he deals extra damage, which is quite nice, quite nice. There are stats you have for each character, and you can actually upgrade them by basically doing things. So if you use guns a lot, your shooting ability will increase. If you run a lot or do things like riding bikes or just stuff that uses your stamina meter goes up, and so on and so on. You can improve the character's stats, which I think is a very cool thing they brought back from San Andreas. I'm glad they did bring that back. So overall, the gameplay is amazing. I mean, there's tons of mini games to do, there's tons of missions, there's tons of side missions. This game took me about, to beat the main story, 18 to 20 hours, and I still have barely touched any of the side missions, and I've only played 1 or 2 of the mini games. So there's a lot to do in this game. There is a lot. Plus, you've got the online component coming on the 1st of October. And if you guys are interested in me doing a sort of video on that, I will, if there's some interest. Graphically wise, the game looks pretty impressive considering the fact it's on the consoles. It runs very smooth. Yeah, you get the odd frame rate drop, but it runs pretty smooth, which I'm pretty impressed at, and the graphics look pretty good. It's a step up from GTA 4, which looked like it was thrown in mud, so it looked kind of dirty and dungy. I suppose it was for the atmosphere, but I didn't like it. It also had massive problems on the consoles with pixelation everywhere. The game was too dark, frame rate issues. GTA 5 has fixed all of that. It looks a lot better and it runs a lot better. I mean, if you go in close, you'll see the odd bad texture, but other than that, it looks very good. Character models look great, and they all animate very, very well. Another good thing about the game is the sound. The voice acting is top notch. You'd be expecting this from Rockstar now. The voice acting is fantastic. Each of the actors does a great job, especially the guys who do Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. That's Ned Luke, Sean Fontano, I think. I'm sorry if I got his name wrong. And Steve Ogg plays Trevor. They all do fantastic jobs. It's unbelievable. The soundtrack, while I didn't like it as much as Saints Row 4's, I still enjoyed it anyway. They brought back the country radio station. Thank you, Rockstar. There's some really good songs in there, but it's not as good as Saints Row 4 because I thought Saints Row 4 had a lot more memorable songs that I'd sing to. Though GTA 5 does have a better collection of radio stations, so you probably will find something you like. And something new to the GTA series is that it's got its own musical score as well, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. I like that very, very much. There's still the talk radio. There's 2 talk radio stations now. WCTR when you're in Los Santos, and Blaine County when you're in Blaine County, so that's pretty cool as well. One more thing I want to mention about two more things I want to mention about GTA 5. The map is very, very big, so there's a lot to explore. Los Santos, you've got a big city, and then you've got the big countryside with Blaine County, so there's a lot to explore and discover, which I like a lot. And in terms of bugs, I haven't really encountered any, if I'm honest with you. The months that Rockstar took to make the game more polished, it definitely shows here. The game's pretty much bug-free. I mean, there are frame rate issues, but otherwise it's pretty much bug-free, which I'm very pleased with. I'm very pleased with indeed. So overall, GTA 5 is an absolutely fantastic game. It is easily one of the best games of this year. GTA is back in business, baby. I mean, it looked like Saints Row had pretty much overtaken it, but now it's back. GTA 5, I'm very happy I get to say this. Grand Theft Auto 5 gets a 10 out of 10, and my personal recommendation, pick this game up. You will love it. Trust me, it is worth it. It is so worth it. It is probably one of the best games I've ever played. It is definitely worth playing. Well, guys, that covers it for GTA 5 review. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to tune for more reviews, news, and gameplay stuff coming soon. I'll see you guys later. Bye.